Hi, I'm Damian Journey, Global Chief Growth Officer at 72andSunny. Welcome to the Sunnyside series. We're coming to you live from the NFL house at Super Bowl week here in New Orleans, where we're just celebrating the intersection of sport, culture, and fandom. I'm super excited to be joined by my good friend, Kamal Bhandal. Her title's impressive, so I want to make sure we get that part absolutely right. She's the Vice President, Global Invisalign Brand, Consumer, and America's Marketing. Hi, Kamal, how are you?
Well, you got that right. How are you, Damon?
I'm great.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. I want to spend time talking about Invisalign. This is a brand that has been around for quite a few years, and frankly, I think it probably started off as a brand that was considered a bit stodgy, more of a medical device type brand, and it's changed dramatically under your leadership. Tell me about what it is now and what it was then.
Sure. So first and foremost, we are a Class 2 medical device.
Oh, you are
so
a medical device,
no surprise that that's what we've been known for. We're big believers that healthcare should be done under the supervision of a trained doctor. All that said, one of the things that we really work in partnership with doctors in communities around the country, communities around the world, is to really ensure that they have people in their communities who are educated and aware that Invisalign could be an option for them as well. So a big part of what we've been working on over the years has really been to increase that awareness and education amongst people that Invisalign could be a solution for them. And so then you think about how do you actually do that, and along that journey that you spoke about, a big part of increasing that awareness and education is integrating into culture. And so that's why we're here at Super Bowl.
I love that. I don't want to make the assumption that our viewers know what Invisalign is. So let's ground it in the idea of what it is not. When I was a kid, if your teeth were not quite right, the dentist might tell you need braces. And no kid in the world wanted to have braces. Invisalign is an alternative for that particular dynamic. Can you talk to us about how it's different, how it functions a little bit differently than a typical gated brace situation might operate?
Sure. So first and foremost, braces work great,
Okay.
right? They are the standard of care.
They're not the enemy?
They're not the enemy at all. We always say that people make the decision along with their doctor in terms of what's right for them. So what Invisalign is in relation to braces is it's another choice in orthodontic treatment. We work in the same way, in so many ways that braces do, which is to get you, the person, the smile that you want. Where we're different is we're different in that it is a removable device.
Okay.
So you can eat all the foods that you love. You don't have to give up any of the foods that you love that you may have to give up otherwise. You do get better oral hygiene as well with Invisalign because you are able to brush and floss in the same way that you do without orthodontic treatment. And then you've got an entirely digital experience. So a digital experience in that when you go into the doctor's office, an orthodontist's office, or a dentist's office, you would get a 3D scan of your smile. And with that 3D scan, you're then also able to visualize through the technology that we have what your smile will look like in the future.
Really?
So it's a simulation of your future smile. And then you have a conversation with your orthodontist and talk to him or her about what the smile is that you want, and they will customize the treatment for you specifically, so there's no two clear aligners that are alike in the world.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable. I mean, the idea is to give yourself a more beautiful smile, but to do it in a way where you can actually see it on the front end, I can see why it'd be a very compelling option. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and she's always talking about friends who are starting to get braces and will she need them, and now there's alternatives to that particular option.
And what you're going to say is when the time is right for her, you're going to talk to your doctor about Invisalign.
Exactly right.
And I think that's another piece though, right?
Yeah.
And all joking aside is that oftentimes people think about Invisalign as a product for adults.
Yes.
And the reality is how far the technology has come, Invisalign is actually also a product for teens and kids.
Awesome.
And so it's definitely a conversation we hope that parents are having with their doctor to ask about Invisalign for their child, because it is a option for them that many parents still don't know is an option.
Well, that's a good segue, I think, to the conversation around why you're at the Super Bowl. Sports is a place where people don't necessarily spend a lot of time thinking about their smile. It's more about their other talents. Tell me why being at a place like the Super Bowl, being involved in sports is so important to your brand.
So first and foremost, I'm a big believer that brands who are integrated into culture and move at the speed of culture are brands that win.
That's correct.
So then when you think about culture, sports and the community aspect of it is where culture is unfolding. So for us, the storytelling is the most important thing, and that storytelling has to be super authentic. Mm-hmm. We've got more than 500 players across all 32 teams who are using or have used Invisalign in the past. And so one of the big reasons why we are here is to showcase many of those stories. One of whom is Patrick Mahomes, and so we are so excited about him being in the big game this
Is that
Sunday.
the secret to his success?
Of course.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I've got to say, of course, to that.
Well, his winning smile certainly doesn't hurt him in all of the ads that he's in.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
fair
right.
enough.
But it's not just the players that we're showcasing. We're also big believers in elevating the voices and the roles of women in the business of sports.
Yes.
And so as we think about Super Bowl being the biggest cultural moment there is worldwide, we are activating across the week with many of the female talent that is also big NFL fans, but also really playing a role in this very important sport. So we're teaming up with Miss Kristen Juszczyk herself, and she's going to be running a clinic for young girls, all centered around design. We're also teaming up with Deanna Flores this week.
Deanna Flores, we love her.
She's running a clinic as well for us over at Super Bowl Experience with young kids, and then we're
around Invisalign.
Well, she's going to play flag.
Right.
They're doing a whole flag clinic. But she's going to talk about confidence, and I think that that's really the centerpiece of all of our storytelling is the confidence that is unleashed through that power of the smile that you want that's customized for you. And she'll talk about confidence on and off the field like any other player would. Kristen will talk about confidence, in and out of the design room, and really help ensure that we as a brand, through the partnerships that we have, are elevating the confidence in young kids.
I love that, because I don't think the average person, I certainly didn't until meeting you, associate your smile with confidence. And yes, everyone wants a beautiful smile, and of course Invisalign provides that, but really what you're providing is this wave of confidence that comes from anywhere you go, anytime you smile, you have something beautiful to show the rest of the world. And I think there was some data you were sharing with me about confidence in girls in the early ages and how that tends to trail off. Can you share a bit about that? Because that was really fascinating to me.
Yeah, there's an entire confidence crisis that's going on with young girls, right? I call it a crisis because that is exactly what it is. You've got 50% of girls who are dropping out of sports before the age of 14, not because of skill, but because of body confidence issues, right? That's an issue that we as an industry have to start to change,
have to address
right?
that.
And play a role in changing that. The other stat that always gets me is 55% of girls in 5th and 6th grade in the US do not have the confidence in themselves to achieve whatever it is that they're aspiring to achieve at that age. Another stat that just hits you in the gut that I always say we as an industry need to address it, and then for us as a brand, when that confidence roller coaster is going on during those teen years, we can help with that because the smile is the universal language.
Yeah.
And certainly if you feel comfortable smiling and you feel comfortable in your own skin, then that's going to help exude that confidence that I think all of us need to help lift up.
That's remarkable to think that 55% of girls at that age don't have the confidence to achieve what could be amazing goals in their lives. And when you think about the talent crisis that we're in the US, We're always worried about not having enough great
100%.
people to do great things. We're losing so much talent, just even in the early ages because of this exact concern. And I think it's Coach Prime, famous Mr. Deion Sanders, who said, if you feel good, you look. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good. And I think that is that element that you're talking about. It's helping people feel confident on the front end, allows them to be able to achieve their dreams downstream, which
100%.
is excellent. So talk about, you mentioned that you are an official sponsor, partner with the National Football League, which is excellent. Any other sports that you guys are involved in or sports partnerships?
Absolutely. Yeah. So outside of the NFL, we also have a few team partnerships. So we're partnership with the Golden State Warriors. We're super excited about that.
Yeah.
And then on the women's sports side, we're teaming up with Bay FC, the new expansion team in the Bay Area as well.
All right.
And so we're super excited about that. And then on the team side, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Overtime.
Okay.
We are super pumped about going into year 3 with Overtime. And if you don't know who Overtime is, I always think about them as the ESPN or the Netflix for high school sports.
Okay.
So we've got Team Invisalign that we built last year on the high school girls side, where we've got 4 elite high school basketball players all around the country, and then also 3 soccer players. In addition to that, we team up on their football side with OT7 and that franchise. So you've got high school boys football. And then this year we are expanding and really going to elevate our game in our partnership with them on the boys basketball and also their league on the high school girls basketball as well. So you've got players like Jess Davidson that we're super excited about, who has Invisalign. And I think that's the through line that we always look for is, the talent using Invisalign and us being able to tell her story or his story on and off the field, on and off the court. So we're pumped. You
are leaning hard into sports and youth sports, no less. As we start this conversation talking about the NFL, the line is very clear to me why an NFL player with the helmets off strategy that we 72andSunny's has helped to bring to the fore with them over the last few years, why an NFL player who's going to be more visible as a personal brand would want to have a beautiful smile. When you think about how much you're leaning into the youth movement, it really signals that your brand is going where the next wave of talent is, and probably the largest bolus of population in the state. So
100%, and where culture is being set.
Absolutely.
Right? And we win on the functional side with athletes. Of course we can do the teeth straightening on the functional piece and get you that smile you're looking for.
Yeah.
But it's really the confidence piece that the true power of Invisalign unfolds in the individual, so that confidence, again, on and off the field, on and off the court, in and out of the pool.
That's awesome. Well, we're coming to a close, but because we're celebrating football, 2-minute drill, right? So we've got to get down the field fast.
Go.
Let me ask you, you're affiliated with a number of different athletes, 500 in the NFL. What's your call in the game this week?
It's going to be Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
All the
way. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's
him and his Invisalign smile.
Okay, that's
go
right.
All the way.
It's going to be on the stage again. Well, that'll be excellent.
Right.
If that were to occur. It'd be historic, in fact.
Yes, it would be.
That would be remarkable. Well, thank you for sitting down with us today and sharing a bit about what you're doing and why you're doing it. I think it goes from being a good product that people might want to consider to actually having a purpose that matters in broader society and culture. And I thank you for leaning into that. We need folks who are making the world a better place. So
thanks for having me.
I really appreciate
it.
So thanks so much for joining us here at the NFL House in New Orleans. It's been a pleasure to have you and to have you. Please tune in and join us on our socials for more great stuff. Take care.